Welcome, everybody, and welcome to Eagle Chat Library Services. We have a wonderful guest with us today. Her name is Mildred Joseph. She is an expert on all things library, and she is going to talk to you about all the wonderful resources that we have. Welcome, Mildred.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Vice, for having me today. Guys, I'm really happy to be here to share with you some of the resources and services that we have available through HCC Libraries that are in person and online. So give me just a second. I'm going to share some slides with you. Just one moment. And let's go right here. And guys, can you see my slides okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. My name is Mildred Joseph. I'm a Director of Library Services for HCC Northeast. You've got my name and email and phone number right here on the screen. So, make note of that. If you've got any questions, don't be shy about reaching out to me about anything that, we go over today. So I do want to note to you that we are open 7 days a week in one form or fashion. So Monday through Thursday, we're open from 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday 7:30 to 4, and then Saturday 9 to 3. Sunday, we're virtual only. That's from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Okay. And so um, you can always reach out to us online through our chat service during business hours. It'll be a live person, but if you ever visit our chat after hours, we do have a chat bot named Nesty that can probably help you with some of your questions. So for instance, like tonight, if you go to our website and you want to ask a question, let's say it's 11 o'clock at night, then it would be our chat bot that would take over, after we're closed. And then, of course, our online resources, such as our databases and eBooks and things of that nature, they're available 24/7. And you can visit our website, which is library.hccs.edu. And towards the end, we'll go on the website and I'll show you a few things that you can use on the website that'll be helpful to you in your educational journey. Our in-person hours, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to change this, guys. For fall 2025, it does vary slightly from location to location. Our larger libraries are open until 9 o'clock, and then we have some smaller locations that close earlier in the day. And I'll show you how to look up those hours on our website. So in terms of our physical facilities, there is probably a location that's located near you. We've got 9 full-size libraries. And this is what you think of when you think of a traditional library. You've got all the books and the tables and the computers lined up. And then we have 4 smaller, what we call digital access centers. And those are a little bit more technology driven. And then we have 3 what we call ERC, electronic resource centers. So that's what we have in our system. In most of these locations, we do have study rooms available. So for instance, if you want to go in and maybe borrow a study room for a couple of hours, you can. Some of them have, technology in them, like 3D printing. And then, of course, we have people there to, help you and, answer any questions that you may have. Now, we have a lot of online resources that are available to you. We have over 276 databases that give you access to hundreds of thousands of eBooks, and we have a lot of e-journals. We also have things like documentary films and things like that are available. And again, you can just log into that from the comfort, of your own home, especially those of you who are taking online classes. And you'll be prompted to use your W number and then also your Active Directory credentials. Basically, it's the same thing that the same password that you would use to log into your student email or into Canvas. It's the same password. And what'll happen is when you're on our website, you will be prompted to log in. So let's talk about some resources that we have available. We do have Chrome hotspots, laptops, and Chromebooks that you can use for your enrollment period. I can tell you that right now we did run out of the laptops and the Chromebooks, but we do have a few hotspots that are still available. I want to point out to you that we do have a program which is called Reading Culture. And what happens is that every semester we focus on a different nation. So for instance, in the past, we've done South Africa, India. The focus for this year's Reading Culture program is is Indigenous Canada. And we have these two books that we're reading. What's really nice about this program is if you participate in it, you have an opportunity to win scholarship prizes. And in a few moments, I will put the links to the Reading Culture program in chat. And that way guys can have an opportunity to participate, and you can see that there is a grand prize of $1,000. And then they have an outstanding essay, 500, and an outstanding project, which is 500. So, I would really encourage you to participate in the program if you have the opportunity to do so. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen just for a few moments to bring up the website, and we'll go over a few things on the library's website. And let me go ahead and I'm going to share that link to you of the Reading Culture program. So give me just a moment. And I'm also going to check in chat to see if there are any questions in chat. So,
There are no questions in chat at this time.
okay, no, okay, great, great. So let me go ahead and put the Reading Cultures link in here for you guys. Okay, it's kind of big because I copied and pasted from my slides. So, okay, guys, and so here we are on the HCC homepage, which should be a familiar site. There are a lot of different ways to get to the web page. Ms. Weiss, she put in the link to the library's website, but if you're on the home page for HCC, you can just click and look for the library link, and that will take you to our website, which is library.hccs.edu. And um, and again, to talk about a little bit about our chat service, when you're on our website, every 5 to 7 seconds or so, a little box will pop up to ask you if you have any questions. If it doesn't, you can just go into the lower right side of the screen and click on Ask Us, and then you can put in your information, and someone, will get in touch with you. I would really encourage you to put your email address in there. And again, if need be, we can always switch to a conference call where, we can share our screens with each other. So, that's just something very handy to keep in mind. And so this is one of our librarians, Ms. Raquel. She actually happens to work at the Northline Library, and she'll be able to help you. And I'll go ahead and close this up, and I'll do a rating. Well, you know what? I'll go ahead and just close chat. Okay. So I would really encourage you to utilize our chat service. If you're wanting to get information about a specific location or the hours, there are a couple of places you can go. You can click right here where it says location and hours, or at the top where it says location and hours. And so I'll just go ahead and click right here, and you can see all of the various locations that we have. And you can click on a specific location. For instance, I'll click on Central, and it'll give you the information for that specific location, where it's located, the librarians who work there, the library assistants, also the different services and things that would be available at that specific library. Another thing that I do want to point out, I know, probably a few of you are in the EDUC 1300 class, um, and you are have assignments where you are getting where you need to attend specific types of events. The library is participating in that program as well. And what you can do is if you scroll down on this page, if you go right here where it says for students, right here under attend a webinar, they do have the schedule for for the workshops that you can get credit for attending listed right here. Okay, so so for those of you who are getting the credit, these are the workshops that will qualify for that. I know that some departments refer to it as the recipes for success or the life hacks workshop. So these are the ones that from the library that would, meet that qualification if you're needing to, attend the workshops and classes for EDUC 1300. So something else I want to point out to you, you guys are going to be writing different research papers and essays and things of that nature. Right here under research and writing, we have some pretty good things for you to check out under here. We do have the style guides. So for instance, if your professor's saying, hey, I need you to use MLA style or APA style, maybe if you're in a history class, they might want you to use Chicago. We do have guides right here on the page that can show you about the different citation styles. So I'm going to click on the APA one as an example. And it just takes you through like the formatting guidelines, a sample of kind of like how your paper is supposed to look and how it's supposed to be formatted. And then also too, how to cite the different types of sources. So this is something that's really good to have, when you're writing your papers, maybe have this open up in a tab, and that can provide you with some, some guidelines on how to format your papers in the proper style. And there are even some different videos and things here as well. So right under the research and writing tab. Okay. And then also too, again, there are millions of ways to access the same information on this website. Well, not millions, but several ways. Again, if you spend some time right here on this For Students tab, they'll have the research guides there as well. And there are a lot of different ways to start the research process here on the page. I'm just going to start with the Eagle Library search. And one of the examples I like to use is I'm going to pretend like I'm writing a research paper on social media and kind of the effects that it might have on a person's self-esteem. So right here, I'm going to start my search in the Eagle Library search. And this is a good place to start because what it does do is it combines our most popular resources into one search. Again, this isn't the only place to search, okay, but it is a good starting point. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my search and we'll take a look at some results. Okay. And notice right here at the top, we get something from Credo Reference. That's one of the resources that we purchase here at HCC Libraries. It kind of maybe gives us an overall summary of the concept of self-esteem and what is it and what it is. And then notice right here, it's giving me a list of resources. And it kind of gives me a description of the type of resource it is. So this is a peer-reviewed journal that comes from an academic article. A lot of times your professors are going to be requiring that you use research journals for your projects. And so I can click here and take a look at the abstract for that. And this one, you know what, this one doesn't provide access to the full article. Let me see. Okay, so this is from B. I'm going to go back. And what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to mark on, it gives me 11,000 results, but I'm going to click on full text to make sure that everything that I get, I can access in its totality, the entire article as opposed to the abstract for an article. Okay. So it lowered that a little bit. And I'm going to take a look. Let me take a look at the second result right here. And let me click on full text finder. Hopefully it'll connect me. Ah, okay, maybe something is going on. Okay. All right. So it is taking me to the directory of open access journals to find this particular article. And so here is the article that I can access. Let me go scroll down. Let's take a look. Fear of missing out on social media platforms. Here are the authors. Here's when it was published. It says full text available from ERIC. That's one of our education databases. And then here's the article right here on the right side. And let's see, I was hoping I would be able to find a book on my topic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it looks like for eBooks. So I'm going to do another search. This is for a book that I've been meaning to read, but I just haven't gotten around to doing so yet. And I'm going to go ahead and take off and do my search again. And here are some, this says periodical. These are some articles, so maybe some book reviews on it, but I'm actually looking for the book. So notice this says result book, and I'm going to click on that title, and it's going to give me more information. And it tells me that we've got 4 copies that are available here at HCC. Okay, and these are the locations: Central, East Side, South Campus, West Houston. It gives me a call number. I use that to locate it on the shelf. And the status says check shelf, so that means that that's available for me to borrow. Okay, now I may not be, I'm located on the north side, so I'm at the Northline campus right now. And so if I wanted to borrow this, I could request this book and have it sent to the, the library, over here to the Northline campus. And so if you notice, if you click on request, you can click request, and then you can put in your information and then indicate where you want to pick that item up and hit submit. And typically it'll take maybe a couple of business days, and we'll call you and let you know when it's ready. Okay, so that's for our physical books. You do have that option. And then let me go ahead and go back to my results here. So that's for our physical books. And then let me go in, and I wanted to see an ebook, because again, I want to give you guys an example of an ebook that you might see. Let's take a look. I'm going to take a look and see if we can find maybe an ebook on self-esteem. We'll take a look at that. Let's see, we see video, book, that's a print book. Here's one right here that says ebook number 6, and I'm just going to click right here. And what you'll do, and for any of our electronic resources, if you're off campus, at some point you'll be prompted to log in. Now, when I click on access ebook, it just takes me straight into the ebook. Okay. But if you're off campus, a little window will pop up and ask you to log in. Okay. And what I would really encourage you to do, because this is just a really, really quick overview, is that I would encourage you to attend one of the webinars where we can do a little bit more of a deep dive into, going in and finding resources. But there are a lot of different ways to search our databases. I'm going to close this up and go back into, close up some of these different tabs. So there are a lot of different ways to search. So for instance, another way to search, like if you were looking for just let's say exclusively books and ebooks, or maybe even videos, you could go ahead and go in and do a catalog search. If you're looking more along the lines of things that are like journal articles or newspapers, things like that, you could go in and do a database search. So I'm going to go ahead and click right here where it says databases. And we have an A through Z listing of databases. But one thing I encourage students to do is that you can always look at our databases according to subject. So for instance, maybe you're a history student. I'm just going to scroll down to history, and then it can make a recommendation out of all the databases that we have. It can kind of narrow it down to, a handful of databases that you can use to research for your topic. Okay. So for instance, maybe you're in US history, I'll use Gale Context, and then you can go in and search an individual database. Okay. So there are a lot of different ways to find information on here. Um, some other things that can kind of be helpful is that we do have research guides on different topics where our librarians go in and they pull out resources that we have. So sometimes our research guides can be very helpful. So I'm going to click right here for research guides. And again, here are all the different topics that we have. So you could go in and, pick one. I'll go and do history again. We'll take a look at our history research guide. And then we have a contact librarian here who, might be able to, assist you if you have any questions. He is our liaison for history and mathematics. And so you can go in and pull out like specific resources on your topic through our research guides. And, I know you guys are super busy, but at some point, you are going to need to do a research paper. You may not remember all the details of what, I'm telling you right now, and that's perfectly fine. But just remember, we are, here to help you. And again, we can help you, whether it's online, in person, you can pick up the phone and get in touch with us. So, don't be shy about reaching out. One of my favorite kind of my particular resources, I really enjoy Flipster. I like to read different magazines, and we have some pretty good selections. I mean, we have like Architectural Digest, Bon Appetit, Essence, Men's Health, Women's Health, Forbes. So if you like, just reading popular magazines, or you like to stay informed, this is a great way to do it. And you don't necessarily have to pay for those, expensive subscriptions. We have New Yorker, The Atlantic, so a lot of different things. So I'll just click on Real Simple right here. And again, you would be prompted to log in. Now, the cool thing about Flipster, eh, move move all this stuff out here. The great thing about Flipster is that you can download the Flipster app on your mobile device. Like if you have an iPad, you can download it on there, and you can download these to read offline for a period of time. So that's something that's really, really nice, and it looks really good on a tablet. Again, just kind of scrolling down, this is a very long website. We have our hours for all the different locations. Again, another way to access different resources, we have the For Students tab here, research and writing. And then we do have our library events, that are listed, that are being offered on the web page. Now, do you guys have any questions or any comments, anything that you'd like me to go over with you?
I'm not seeing any in the chat. Feel free to unmute and ask a question.
And let me any questions? And so let me share the link with you guys for the EDUC 1300 workshops. So I'll put this into chat for you guys.
Oh, there's a question in the chat.
Oh, yes.
If they do that in the school library, do they need an ID, like a badge? An
Well,
ID badge?
that's a great question. If you're wanting to borrow, items from our print collection, you will need your student ID card to do that. Um, so you'll need your student ID card, and what we do is on the back of it, there's a barcode that we scan. Now, I know a lot of times, especially with online students, you may not have that opportunity to get your student ID card. So you can bring in a picture ID of any kind, so it could be like your driver's license or state ID, and then we can look you up with that. But we do prefer that you have your student ID card, but we can use another picture ID in lieu of that. A good question.
Do we have any other questions? Oh, we do. Somebody is typing.
Okay, great, great. Okay, maybe they.
Did you have another question? You were typing there for a moment.
Okay, no problem.
I just wanted to make sure.
Now, just a really quick, if you wouldn't mind, in chat, guys, what are you thinking about studying? If maybe you wouldn't mind sharing, uh, we can maybe I can show you some resources that are related to your um, to the major that you're interested in. Does anybody want to share that or?
Software developer.
Software development. Okay, okay, very good. So let me show you, let me bring up. We do have a resource. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm trying to remember the login for it. But we do have something called Learning Express Library. Let me share my screen. Okay. If you do click on here under our careers tab, there is a resource that we have available called Learning Express Library. And it does have a computer skills center, and also an AWS. And anybody who's interested in Amazon Web Services, they have some training in here. And let me see, I'm going to try to see if I can remember my login for this. Hold on, I hope this still works. Okay. And we'll go back to homes and to centers. And you can see that they do have some trainings and different things for certain things, as it relates to, um, security, game technology, things like that. And also too, whatever programming language that you're interested in, um, you can also, search for those, like an Eagle Library search, and see what books and things that we own, related to what it is that you're, what languages that you're used to, so, what you're wanting to do. So for instance, let me, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but let me go ahead and do a search for, this is the only thing I can think of. Okay, why does it say bad request? Okay, and also guys, we're in the process of migrating our system over to something new, to a new system. Let's see. Wonder why it's doing that. Let me try one more time. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and try this as a catalog search. Okay, and so, here we have some books on PHP, so whatever, it is that you're learning in terms of, programming, there's a pretty good chance that we have, books, on that, so, keep that in mind, and you can, borrow those. So, and let me see. Does anybody else want to, I'm going to stop sharing my screen just for a moment. Right, and they do have a lot of events. And the library, we are going to start, sharing some of our events through that platform. So, again, you don't necessarily have to go to the, it's really nice. I'm really liking that we have that now, because there are so many things that do happen across the campus. And so it's great to be able to share those events through the that Eagle Engage platform. So
Do we have any more questions or comments?
And I'm going to show you one more thing under
Okay.
careers, because we do have, a lot of times, if you're looking for testing guides for your specific area of study, let me again just show you one thing that I always really like to show students right here under careers is the Mometrics e-library. So, there are test guides in Mometrics e-library for, like, NCAT, I mean, just all sorts of things, NCLEX. So again, if you were off campus, you'll be prompted to log in, and then you can go in here and, look for study guides for, different things. So I'll just put in, and so here we have like the NCLEX flashcards, study cards, practice questions, practice test questions. So I'll just click on this. And so you can go in and, do for, these different exams that you might need to take to get into various programs. It might be available through the Mometrics e-library. So that's another resource that, I would recommend that would check out. So, you know, college admissions and placement, career exams. There is some K through 12 in here. This is something that would be worth looking into. So I'll put my contact information in chat, as I said. If you guys have any questions about anything, you know, don't be shy, reach out.
And thank you all for coming and learning about the library and all the wonderful resources they have for you. They are a plethora of knowledge. Always contact them. If they don't know, they'll find out for you. They'll help you figure out how to do your research and how to even write your papers correctly with all the different formattings. Thank you for coming, everybody. This was wonderful knowledge.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.